All right, hello Beehive and anyone else who's watching this. I'm just going to record this in one take, so I'm sorry if there's any stuttering or anything like that. And by the way, feel free to share this with anybody inside Beehive or outside of Beehive because I am basically an open book. As I said in the email, I'm not looking to scam anybody or anything like that. So obviously you guys have sent me this email, and obviously what I'll say, like firstly, is obviously on an emotional level, it's not fun to receive an email which threatens to deactivate my Beehive account when I've built it to over 1,800 subscribers. Of course, I understand you're a company and you guys need to protect yourselves, but I will say that is partly the reason why I asked Darwin on the email if you could do a video call, because as I explained to him, I do feel like we could probably resolve it faster. And it will help me share feedback with you guys as well if we could do a video call. But I understand that you guys have a way of operating, and you guys aren't happy to do the video call, so that's okay. I am kind of reading off my notes here because I've written down a few different things that I want to discuss. So let me just check that I've not missed anything. Yeah, I think the only thing I wanted to say here is obviously I'll use this recording to clarify what I do, but also I hope you guys can use it as feedback. So let me just share what I do. So I've been streaming on TikTok. This is my main account, computer streaming on TikTok since the year 2020 on this account. I've also on the side built this YouTube Shorts channel to over 232,000 subscribers. And people were always asking me, how am I streaming on TikTok from a computer? So I launched the TikTok Live with Harry YouTube channel. This one was launched 9th of May 2022. Over 2.7 million views, exclusively talking about TikTok Live computer streaming. So I launched that channel. And then as a creator, I've always been interested in like learning more about how to be the best creator that I can be. So I discovered, I think mainly off Twitter, like I found other email newsletters to subscribe to. So Creator Wizard was one of them. This is ConvertKit. Unfortunately, this one's not Beehive. And also Publish Press. This one is on Beehive. And what I learned over the years is just by watching other people. They were saying you really need to own your own audience. You need to get your own newsletter. So I thought, I love Colin Samir's newsletter, which obviously Published Press. So I checked the bottom of it. It's on Beehive. So I was like, what's Beehive? I basically just clicked on, I clicked on the Powered by Beehive button. And I did it almost exactly a year ago, by the way. I just checked my first edition was sent on the 14th of April, 2023. So basically exactly a year ago, I sent my first edition of what I call the Live Success newsletter. And this newsletter is targeted at TikTok live streamers and in general targeted at content creators. Now, I said this in the email as well. This is a Wix website, right? It's obviously not just my newsletter website. What I did is I embedded this page, the subscribe page. I embedded live-success.beehive.com/subscribe. I just embedded it as an iframe into talktutorials.com, which is my website. Now, this is probably not the best way to do it, right? But like, this was the easiest way for me to do it, and it just felt overwhelming. Any other method to do it. I don't really have the technical expertise to use your API or anything like that. I would basically have to hire somebody to do that. So I don't know if your systems were flagging this because this is just an iframe, right? So I do have a little bit of technical expertise. I did do computer science, but like I actually dropped out, so I don't have the full skill set regarding that. So I knew how to do an iframe, so I just embedded the Live Success newsletter as an iframe. And obviously, like once I click subscribe, it pops up the boost subscriptions. Now, where are they clicking subscribe? Like, how are they getting to the Talk Show's website? As I said in the email, it's largely through the TikTok Live with Harry YouTube channel. You click on any of these videos, and I've edited every single description. You guys can see it's top of the list. So we've got the Live Success newsletter. It's even above the video links because I understand the importance of the newsletters, right? To own your own audience. I'm sure you guys have told people that many times. I understand the importance of newsletters. So it's literally the top link on every single one of my videos is the Live Success newsletter. So they're largely coming from YouTube. Some of them might be coming from X, TikTok. Now the problem is in my analytics, because it's in an iframe, it all just says it's a website referral from talktutorials.com. So maybe I can dig in my Google Analytics to find exactly where they're coming from. But unfortunately, I don't know fully. I'm pretty sure it's like 95% from YouTube, but unfortunately I don't know that fully because it's just in the Beehive Analytics. Maybe I'll look at it in a second. In the Beehive Analytics, it just says referral talktutorials.com because it's inside an iframe, unfortunately. again, I just don't feel technically able enough to work out how to fix that, unfortunately. Um, so anyway, guys, I just want to show you guys, like, I'm not malicious towards beehiiv or anything. Like, I think beehiiv's a fantastic platform. And if you guys, can verify this on x.com. If you type in beehiiv _mojo, which is my account, look at all the different interactions that I've done with beehiiv, right? So I'm not trying to be malicious in any way with beehiiv. I think beehiiv's a fantastic platform. I mean, again, just look at all the different interactions I've done with beehiiv. We're only on October here, right? And again, I started April 2023, so I could scroll down even further there. But anyway, let's go on to beehiiv now. So you can see 33%, this is sorted by this year, 33% email open rate, 6% click rate. Okay, this is all in like the standard zones, right? Like this is, I'm presuming what this means is 20 to 40% is like the average, decent enough open rate, not terrible, not great, right? And I'm happy with that because again, I've never done emails. But this is my first. We're reaching the end of my first year of doing emails. So I mean, all the statistics, they look fine to me here, right? Now the problem seems to be the boosts marketplace, where you guys are flagging me for this 11.2% verification rate. And I'm just going to check my notes again, just to check I've not missed anything that I should be saying so far. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so the first thing I'll say about boosts here is that, so if we go back to an edition of my newsletter, right? My newsletter is about content creation, and it's largely aimed at TikTok live streams, but content creators in general. So you can see the most recent one I sent is said, should TikTok allow AFK streams? And just in general, that the main topic was about AFK streams, and then a weekly video, again, just sharing my YouTube videos. And then towards the bottom of it, we typically more in general just talk about content creation in general, like Twitch or YouTube or TikTok or anything, right? So this one's talking about YouTube streaming. This one's talking about the attitude you should have as a content. Anyway, I'm just showing you guys the general gist and the content of my newsletter. So I think you guys will agree with me that this newsletter in general is for content creators, right? So as a result, you can see, look at all the different boost names: creator, loading screen. I'm pretty sure that one's a content creator one as well. So mainly what I applied for overall was newsletters directly aimed at content creators, with obviously some AI, because I know AI is massively useful for content creators as well. And I know content creators also, it's basically looking for like a little side hustle, right? So I did apply for a few crypto ones as well. But largely, I think you guys will agree with me, like 80-90% of these, whether they're live, rejected, pending, whatever, I think you guys agree with me that about 80 or 90% of these are newsletters for content creators. And that seems like the best fit, right? If we just toggle it to live as well. So that's bugged. So here you go, guys. Here's a live bug that I've identified for you. What's going on here? I don't know. Let's refresh the page. But I think you guys agree. I hope you guys will agree with me. There we go, fixed it. I hope you guys will agree with me that I think these are relevant newsletters for the subscriber, for people who are reading this effectively. This is, again, there's all sorts of other examples if you guys want to read through the newsletter as well. But these appear, the Creator CEO, Creator Spotlight, Creator Lens, these appear to be fully relevant to my audience. Now, again, if we go back to this 33% open rate, I would expect the verification rate to be similar, right? But I understand you guys don't want to fully explain how the verification process works, but like my guess is that your verification process is after somebody's clicked on a boost, it's checking that they're actually opening it, and then it's paying out, right? So you would expect, if mine's 33%, you would expect this to be, slightly less than 33%, because it wouldn't be 100%. Like every single person who opens my newsletter won't open, Create a CEO or Spotlight or Create a Lens, right? But it feels like it should be relevant to them. And that's part, again, I'm just going to check my notes, but that's partly why I'm kind of questioning what Darwin is telling me in email here. So let me just check my notes again, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So what Darwin is saying is, so verification rate's low to start with, right? You'll have to find publications with the lowest verification rates. You can start with 3 to 5 and remove them. Now, I don't know if he's talking about live one. Obviously, I'll happily remove the paused ones because they're not active, right? But there's no point doing that. But Also, by the way, maybe this is an improvement you guys can make, because that's partly why I'm doing this video. We've got the verification rate up here, but I don't have the individual verification rates up here, so I'd have to open a calculator and do 11 divided by 132 times 100, you know? But obviously, that is, again, they're all roughly 10% or lower, right? This one's even lower, right? Greater Spotlight's even lower. Well, that's roughly 5%, isn't it? So what Darwin is saying is find them and remove them. So I'd end up with, if I remove all of these are about 10%. So if I removed all these, I'd end up with no active boosts and then add some new ones. But it's not going to improve it because I think if you guys agree with me, they're relevant for content creators. And unfortunately, I just don't understand why my viewers aren't opening them. That said, right? Well, a few comments, right? Why does this matter? Why does it matter? As Darwin says, what did Darwin say? So less than 20% is considered very strange, but isn't that the point of your guys' verification process? Why does it matter if it's 11.2%? Like the verification process seems to have worked successfully, right? So why does it matter if it's 11%? Your verification system's worked. Again, you guys are the experts. You guys know more than me. Maybe you guys can explain that. And again, that's partly why I've suggested the video call as well, because it seems faster than just going back and forth over email. But that's up to you guys. So why does it matter what the verification rate is? Isn't that the point of verification in general, right? To detect quality subscribers and then only pay out on the quality. It seems like you're doing that, right? So it seems like the verification rate shouldn't be relevant. And, speaking of the people on my newsletter, they appear to be real human beings, right? Where is it? Is it the subscribers report? There is some invalid ones, right? And maybe you guys can tell me more about this. So 13 invalid, it says, over the past 30 days. If we change it to the year, so the last 4 months, 25 invalid. I don't understand why that is, unfortunately. And if I just go on to an addition, there's nothing out of the ordinary here, right? They're clicking on various different things, right? It's not like all of these 663 opens have been by robots. At least not based on the analytics, right? They've clicked on a variety of different links. There's nothing suggesting to me that the traffic, as Darwin says, I mean, these are human beings. I don't like, again, it's just maybe me, right? I don't like the word traffic. These are human beings subscribing to the newsletter. So people, subscribers, not traffic, because I don't know, it just doesn't sound very personal. Anyway, that's just a nitpick. The traffic may not be the best fit for the Boost marketplace. But again, I just go back to the point. Isn't that the point of your verification process? Yeah, if it's not the best fit, that's fine. That's fine. Like again, it seems like 90 or 88% on 88.8% aren't the best, so that's fine. So that's why you've got the verification process. But I would like to still be paid for these 11.2% who are relevant and who have passed your verification process. And with that said, this honestly the main reason why I'm on your, what's it called, the grow plan? Is it scale and grow? That's the main reason why I'm on your $99 tier, for the boosts. I do use the automations, and actually that's why I dropped. I recently followed your guide to activate the automation. That's why I dropped 300 subscribers, because I just removed all the the inactive subscribers, the people who literally hadn't opened it for 120 days. So I do use the automations, but I could also use the segments to effectively do the same thing. So what I'm saying is Boost is the main reason. Boost is the main reason that I subscribe to the $99 tier. So unfortunately, if I do get removed from the Boost marketplace, and again, unfortunately, I don't think what Darwin's suggesting here is going to help, because I've already got relevant newsletters added. So if I do get removed from the Boost marketplace, you will unfortunately lose a $99 tier customer, although I am locked in until November, because the Boost is the main appeal for me, unfortunately. So I guess my final question is, hopefully you can use this as good feedback, but what happens next? Because unfortunately, I don't think what Darwin has suggested to here is going to do anything, unfortunately, because he says it will instantly increase my verification rate. It's remove 3 to 5 publications, but I've only got 3 currently live. So yeah, that's not removing all of them. Removing all 3 to 5, all 3 was not going to increase the verification rate, unfortunately. Um, and it's just not going to improve because these are already the best, most relevant newsletters for me that are in the Boost Marketplace. Um, so I'm stuck. I don't know what to do, guys. And I would like to stay in the Boost Marketplace. Again, I think beehiiv is a great platform, but unfortunately, what Darwin is suggesting, I don't think is going to help. So guys, if you guys let me know what the next step should be, because at this stage I am unfortunately confused, and hopefully you guys can use this video as feedback for other people in the future. Thank you, guys.